I never imagined I'd be fighting to breathe in my own home because of a neighborhood dispute. But that's exactly what happened when Deborah Langston, the self-declared queen of Maple Grove Estates, decided that my medical equipment didn't fit her idea of acceptable community aesthetics. It started 3 months ago, right after I moved into Maple Grove. My doctor had advised me to relocate to a single-story home due to my severe COPD. I rely on supplemental oxygen, especially overnight. The house I bought was perfect. No stairs, wide doorways for my wheelchair on rough days, and a peaceful patio to enjoy some air when I could. Before buying, I did my homework. I read every line of the HOA guidelines and confirmed that my medical accommodations were protected under the Fair Housing Act. I was confident everything was in order. 2 days after moving in, there was a sharp knock at the door. I opened it to see a woman in her mid-50s with a rigid posture, platinum bob haircut, and a clipboard clutched like a weapon. "I'm Deborah Langston, president of the Maple Grove Estates HOA," she said, not bothering to smile. Her eyes quickly moved past me, scanning my living room. "I'm doing routine inspections of new residents' homes. May I come in?" It wasn't a question. Uncomfortable, I stepped aside, the tubing from my portable oxygen concentrator dragging behind me. Her eyes immediately landed on the equipment near my recliner. "What's all this?" she asked with a frown. "Medical equipment," I said calmly. "I have COPD. It helps me breathe." She scribbled something on her clipboard. "Well, medical or not, it can't be visible from the street," she snapped. Section 12. Paragraph 4 of our bylaws clearly states that all homes must maintain an appealing aesthetic consistent with the community. I took a steady breath through my nasal cannula. Actually, I've reviewed those bylaws. Medical equipment is exempt, both under HOA rules and federal law. Her lips thinned. "I've been president for 15 years, she said sharply. "I think I know the rules better than someone who moved in last week." Then she handed me a bright yellow paper. "You have 7 days to remedy this violation. After that, it's a $100 a day fine." That was only the beginning. Over the next few weeks, violation notices poured in like clockwork. One for my garbage can being out 10 minutes too long. One for a small oxygen tank visible through the rear car window. One for my wheelchair ramp, despite it being built to exact ADA specifications. I tried to reason with her. I sent certified letters. I even showed up to the next HOA board meeting, dragging my oxygen tank beside me, to speak directly to the board. The board members looked uncomfortable, but no one contradicted Deborah. Afterward, one board member, Steve Mullins, approached me privately. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "Deborah gets intense. She's been running things solo for so long. Most of us just stay out of her way." "This isn't just annoying," I said, tapping the tank. "This is illegal. It's discrimination against medical necessity." He nodded slowly. "I'll try to talk to her. Just be careful." The last person who challenged her found their rose bushes dead from mysterious root rot. Then they moved. It only got worse. Deborah started photographing my house daily, pacing up and down the sidewalk like a security guard. One afternoon, I caught her peeking through my front window while I was reading. When I stepped outside to confront her, she simply said, "Community inspection," and strutted back to her home, just 3 doors down. That night, I installed security cameras. Nothing in her beloved rule book said I couldn't. Then came last Tuesday. It was a rough day. My breathing was labored, and I had settled into my recliner with my oxygen set higher than usual. Just as I was dozing off, the doorbell rang. Through my security app, I saw Deborah standing outside, clipboard in hand, her usual scowl firmly in place. I ignored her. After 3 months of this nonsense, I wasn't playing anymore. She could leave another notice in the mailbox. I was documenting everything for my attorney anyway. 10 minutes passed. Then I heard a loud, metallic clunk from the side of the house, where my external oxygen system was installed. An alarm on my portable unit blared. The pressure had dropped. Panicking, I fumbled for my emergency backup tank, hands shaking. As I tried to connect it, my front door burst open. There stood Deborah, a set of keys jangling in her hand. "As HOA president, I have access keys for emergencies," she said, triumphant. "And your continuous violations are an emergency to our community's standards." Gasping for air, I asked, "What did you do?" "I shut off that eyesore outside," she answered smugly. Section 15 clearly prohibits external mechanical equipment without board approval. You never filed the proper forms. My security camera caught every second of what happened next. Deborah walking up to the oxygen unit, turning the valves off, removing a key component and slipping it into her pocket, while muttering about teaching me a lesson. I finally got the backup tank connected and called 911. Police and ambulance, I gasped. Woman broke into my house, disabled my oxygen system, can't breathe. Deborah's face changed instantly. The smugness drained. Oh, don't be dramatic, she scoffed. You're fine now. Emergency responders arrived within minutes. Paramedics rushed to stabilize me while I showed the police the security footage from my phone. An officer watched, his expression hardening by the second. Deborah stood nearby, arms crossed. This is HOA business, she argued. He violated covenants. I was enforcing them. Ma'am, the officer said slowly. You entered this home without permission, tampered with life-saving medical equipment, and removed components. That's breaking and entering, criminal negligence, and possibly attempted manslaughter. Deborah went pale. But I have access keys, she insisted. For emergencies. Aesthetic disagreements aren't emergencies, ma'am, he said, removing handcuffs. Please turn around. She was arrested on the spot, handcuffed, read her rights, and loaded into the back of the cruiser. Neighbors stood on their lawns watching the great Deborah Langston, Queen of Maple Grove, hauled off like a common criminal. 2 days later, I was released from the hospital, where they had kept me for observation. When I got home, I found a certified letter waiting. The HOA had held an emergency meeting. Deborah was unanimously removed as president. All previous violation fines were waived. All of my medical accommodations were permanently approved. Later that day, the district attorney's office called. Deborah was now facing several felony charges: breaking and entering, tampering with medical devices, theft of medical components, and reckless endangerment. Her real estate license, her career, was suspended pending trial. When I saw her days later, she was being escorted by her attorney into the clubhouse to collect her personal items. I sat on my porch, oxygen tank beside me, calmly watching. She spotted me, and her face twisted in rage and disbelief. But for once, Deborah Langston had nothing to say. She was speechless. And I was finally able to breathe easy, literally and legally.